Alright, peace and greetings, YouTubers. Alright, so Black Panther, let's just jump right into it. Now, I have to say, I am currently on a high, like a straight high of adrenaline. Like, I'm still on a high from the film. It's like sitting in me. I got all this energy I don't know what to do with. It's 1:54 in the morning. I'm wide awake. I mean, I still got to go to work tomorrow, but I got all this energy after seeing this film. It's kind of like if I was still in college right now. I went down in the hall and knocked on my friends' doors and like, all right, we're about to reenact the whole scene out of 5 Heartbeats, and I'm choir boy because I'm the only one with a good falsetto in the group. Let's go. Like, I'm on a high. So, Black Panther, let me just say, I enjoyed this film a lot. You know, let me be like the president. I enjoyed this film bigly. And I enjoyed it bigly because, let me stop. There's this, man, here's the thing. A lot of times when like there's movies or things that I'm excited about, sometimes I will mess it up for myself. I'll get too indulged and I'll read the reviews and I'll watch all the interviews. Or if it's a concert or something, I've already seen the show 5 times before they come to my city because I've been looking at it on YouTube. And then when I get to the show, I'm low-key directing the show in my head, like, okay, now 3 dancers are about to come from this side, and they're going to jump up from the floor, and the water's going to spray from here, and then the fire's going to explode on this side, and then the drummer's going to be wheeled in, and then there's going to be more water that's going to come up, and then the fog machines are going to go off. Oh, wait, the fog machines didn't go off. They missed the cue. Like, I can't ever enjoy stuff. I think sometimes when you're already somewhat of, I guess, an artist, and you do all these different things, it's hard sometimes to just enjoy things for what it is. You're too over-analytical. So with this film, I made sure not to watch too many interviews, not to be too invested. That way, when I went and saw it, it was like, I'm ready. So I went and I saw it. I was ready. Let's begin. So the cast is on point. Like, everybody pulled their weight. Every single cast member, like, definitely played their role. I think if I had to personally pick who I think the MVP was in this film as far as the acting, I'm giving it to the woman, what's her name? Denai Guerrera. She plays, and by the way, I'm not giving any spoilers. I will speak in fables and parables, so I don't ruin it for people who haven't seen the movie. She plays like one of the generals that are beside Black Panther. Like, she's like the go-to main person ready to defend and fight for the throne. Like, she got it in. Every scene she was in, all the fight scenes, mind you, I'm gonna get to the fighting in a second, but when I tell you she knew how to wreck, she could wreck in that film. It was just, I was convinced. If they want to give her character a spin-off movie, I'm down for it. I will watch that mess. But in addition to that, like, the entire cast, so, you know, Chadwick Boseman was awesome, of course. Michael B. Jordan did his thing. Hell, even Sterling K. Brown was in the movie. I didn't know he was in the movie. I was like, Sterling K. Brown is having a really great era at the moment. You know, ever since he did that dynamic performance with the OJ, the People vs. OJ, and then, of course, he's on This Is Us, and he's in this. He's having a good time right now. You do you, Sterling. And I think I said Angela Bassett. Lupita is Lupita. She did her thing. Forrest Whitaker was in the movie. I'm like, they got everybody and their mama in this movie. Okay, all right. Like, it was just dope. The acting was really, really good. What I really appreciated was the effort that was put into the special effects and the CGI. The coolest thing about coming up in an era like in 2018 is that technology is so much more advanced than it was 10, 15, 20 years ago that movies are almost unrecognizable in comparison to what was going on 20 years ago, because the CGI, the special effects, the visuals, the graphics, all of that is so much more advanced now. And it's kind of like, I'm anxious to see where it's going to go in the next 10 years, the next 20 years, because it's almost like each film that comes out is pushing the boundaries when it comes to the CGI and the graphics and the 3D this and the this and the that. And so it's excellent in this film. The way that Wakanda is portrayed, you're just like, wow. And mind you, I hate going to movies and having to wear 3D glasses. I don't like wearing 3D glasses because that crap be having my eyes all messed up, my head be hurting. But Wakanda I was cool with. I watched it through the pain. I was squinting because maybe my vision starting to get all jacked up. But I can't see nothing with them glasses on. My eyes be jacked up. It takes like 10 minutes for my eyes to adjust. But once my eyes were adjusted, like, Wakanda was this dope-ass city. Like, it was just this super advanced epitome of technological excellence. You know what I mean? I mean, it was just, and then, you know, Wakanda was on the continent of Africa, everything. They just had their stuff going. It wasn't gentrified like Brooklyn and DC and Atlanta and everywhere else black people used to live. It just was, it was on point. And I like the fact that, you know, there's not a lot of imaging that always will show, like, I guess, the continent of Africa in a positive light. But this kind of gives that narrative, like, okay, you guys are so used to always portraying Africa as this horrible famine place. Let's change it up a bit and let's talk about Wakanda. Wakanda, they got all this technology and all this stuff the rest of the world doesn't have. So that was some dope imaging, and I'm sure that will definitely change the lives of many young and up and coming children of African descent who, finally get to see certain images of places that they come from being held in a more positive light. So that was dope. The script is actually really good. Sometimes with these action films, it's all action and then the plot don't really make sense, but you're happy because as long as they fighting and stabbing and shooting and gutting each other like a fish, you're good. The plot is really good. Like the script is really well put together. So even if you take away the fighting, well, maybe not. But if you took the fighting or if you cut down on the fighting in the film was still good because the plot had that much depth. But of course, the fighting scenes, it balanced everything out. It was really, really good. I just have to say, it was just, man. And what was really cool? The cool thing was like, in this film, both genders pull a lot of weight as far as the characters. Sometimes with these action films, if the women are never really super important. They're always the damsel in distress. No, woe is me, help, I'm being kidnapped by the whoever. And then the superhero has to run and knock the train over and pick up a car and flip this over, and he does all this stuff. And he has to go and rescue her, and she ain't helping none of the situation because she decided to wear stilettos, and her stilettos stuck in the sewer grill, and the monster's coming to eat her or whatever. And so, no, not this film. Let me tell you something. The women in this film, this was a totally different demographic. Like, they were just, you would have thought it was going to be exactly what I described as far as how they sometimes portray women in these action films. No, these women just going and getting spears. I'm just like, I wouldn't want to get in a fight with none of them. Like, they was wrecking. Like, and honestly, and that's what made it good, because there's a part in the movie where, I'm not going to spoil it, but let me just say, they saved the day a couple times. And I'm like, yep, black women, y'all always doing it every time. And so I know some of the king of the castle disciples are gonna be pissed off about that statement. Y'all get mad sometimes when I gas up black women too much, but y'all will be okay. But no, there's a good balance. And I think what I also liked about the script and the plot is that, yes, Black Panther is the main hero in this film, but pretty much the entire, I don't want to say village, but the entire team, everybody was important. Like, everything worked out because everybody played their part, as far as those who were fighting for Wakanda, those who were like, it was like there was a lot going on. There's a whole lot of plot twists towards the second half of the film. You'd be like, oh, really? Oh, it's like that? So, of course, you want to fight a few people, but the lesson that you get out of this is that, ego and pride will be, it'll be a downfall. Ego and pride will be your downfall. And it's interesting, like, I like how they portrayed the narrative of chain of command, and how some people in the film had to do things they really didn't want to do, but that chain of command put people in a position where, okay, are you fighting for a certain individual, or are you fighting for, the laws and ordinances of this specific kingdom? Like, it was just dope. Like, the humor was good. There's lots of jokes in the movie, I thought. And then it wasn't predictable, and it wasn't, I don't know, it was dope. You gotta go see it. I can't wait to take my kids to go see it. I really, 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 really enjoyed this film, and it was definitely worth the wait. It's worth all the hype. I probably need to see it like 2 or 3 more times. I literally want to watch it again just for the CGI, and then I almost want to watch it again. I want to watch it not in 3D. I don't want to wear them damn shades no more. Like, I want to go see it in just a regular 2D, whatever they do, and I'm gonna sit in the back and chill and watch it that way, because that 3D glasses be hurting my eyes, man. But I don't know, and so, but when I left the film, it was kind of like, you get this feeling of euphoria. That's just been my word on all these videos lately, euphoria. It's also one of my songs. But, I don't know, it was just like, you're almost proud, like, man. Because when you're watching this and you're like, okay, this is a black director. This is, all black. Well, it wasn't all black cast. There was some other groups of people in there. But, after working in journalism because I did for a minute, and I still do on occasion, working for a film resource magazine for content creators of color, and seeing all of the atrocities that take place in Hollywood when it comes to black films. Like, black films go through so much BS. Black directors have to fight and claw just to get funding. It's hard, like, producers have a hard time collecting money to get, there's so much that goes on in Hollywood when it comes to any kind of film with black anything. They always want us to only play one specific kind of role and everything like that. But like with this, people actually opened doors and gave a chance to let this movie be great. So there was an actual budget. It didn't look cheap. And the lesson with this is not saying, we have to beg, or we can't do anything without those doors opening. But the lesson is more so, look what happens when people finally humble down, open a door, and let greatness take place. Like, this is one kick-ass movie, and it's for everybody. Like, it really is. Like, it's a movie that everybody can appreciate. And I think what I really, really enjoy, because some people are a little feeling some kind of way. They're like, black people doing too much. Y'all acting like it's Malcolm X and and it's not doing nothing for the community. I'll say this. Is it the epitome of black, progression and radicalism and revolution? No, it's not. It's a movie. But the thing is, when it comes to books and movies and films and TV shows and theater productions, sometimes people just want escapism from the stresses of the real world. With all the nonsense that goes on in people's lives, whether it's, maybe the job is acting crazy, people ain't making the money that they would like to make, their husband acting crazy, their wife acting crazy, their parents are sick and dying, the grandparents are already dead, the kids don't know how to sit down, the dog don't know how to stop pissing in the house. You got all that stuff you're stressing out about. For that 1 or 2 or 3 hours that people are at a concert or at a movie or whatever, it's their escapism from the harsh realities of the real world. It puts them in a place where they get to test the limits of their imagination. Oh, that was deep. I have to write me a book one of these days. But you know what I mean? And I think that's what that film does. With all that's going on in the world, I think sometimes films like this, it gives people escapism. Just so they can just have 2 hours where they can just be in a world where they don't got to be stressed out about nonsense. And I also think what I like about this film is there's definitely a lot of messages in it. And there's a lot of symbolism. Like, there's some moments in there where I'm like, is this about America? Is this about us? Is this about us? Is this about the election? I'm confused. What is this? Like, there's some moments in there. You're just like, ooh, this is real symbolic. Real symbolic. There's some diaspora conversations in there, too. I was like, all right, we deep. But, excellent film. And thinking back, like, I'm happy because I'm thinking of all the little children that are going to watch something like this, and it's like, finally they have a superhero that looks like them. I mean, Blade was out when I was in I think, middle school. But other than Blade, the only other, like, black superhero I can remember being around, other than, I guess, Storm and X-Men, was Meteor Man. If you remember that movie, like, you probably got to be born in the 80s to remember it. But Meteor Man, like Robert Townsend, and that was more of a comedy, but, like, I remember I was 4 or 5 seeing that in a movie theater, and I thought I was Meteor Man for, like, 5 days, running around. I wanted the great costume with the green cape. I wanted all that crap. Oh, Blank Man, too, even though that's more of a comedy as well. That was kind of a joke. But, it's just, you never know what doors this opens for people. And I'm hoping that this film, because it's going to be super successful already, I'm hoping that this continues to open doors for a lot of people, especially people of color who are content creators. Like, there's so much talent that's out there, and sometimes people just need the right outlet to be exposed. Like, every time I go on Twitter, I'm always seeing some stuff where somebody's like, hey, I'm a movie director, check out my work, retweet my stuff, and you see what they've done, and they've done all this great stuff, and they've only did it on an iPhone. They didn't get the multi-million-dollar equipment to put something together. They put some mess together on their iPhone. Or, hey, I'm an artist, check out my paintings, and it's like some stuff that you ain't never seen before, and it's like, you did all that with just a pencil? Wow, okay. Or you see somebody that's like, oh, I'm a fashion designer, retweet my stuff. I'm a musician, retweet my stuff. I made an album, I played every instrument on it. Yes, I did. And, like, everything like that. And it's just like, that is so, so dope. And I think because I still do want to work in film at some point. I mean, right now I'm kind of left field because I'm doing the whole music thing and comedy. But it just was very motivating. I really, really enjoyed this film. I think everybody should see it. Excellent. And definitely there's a sequel. I know there's a sequel coming just based on how it ended. Anyway, that's it. When you see it, share your thoughts about it. I definitely enjoyed it. It was excellent. Ryan Coogler did an awesome job. Awesome. And, like, Ryan Coogler, Ryan, we need to be friends, man. Like, put me on. Goodness, like, he with Fruitvale Station, and he had Creed, and now he has this one. Good job. Good for you, Ryan. Just awesome. I'm on a high. I'm gonna go to bed now. If I can sleep and be wide awake. Texting people, get on people's nerves. Probably gonna be on Twitter for like the next 20 minutes. But anyway, I'm out. Subscribe.